You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Out in South Texas, they sent a kind of a preacher type, a Thomas Meade, to snow job the public. But for Central Texas, right outside Austin, where they're running their main operations against the enemy force, Texas, for Jade Helm 1-5, they have Army Lieutenant Colonel Mark Lastoria, Lastoria. And I was talking to Joe Jennings during the break. He said the crowd is really mad and not buying any of it. Well, I don't know how they could buy it. There are listeners mainly, A. B, there is no exaggeration, probably 500 mainstream news articles admitting they're training to take on veterans and gun owners. And then there's Katrina, and then all these videos where citizens go, what's the armored vehicle or the drone for? And they go, the cops are like, just to battle the veterans. They're going to be attacking any minute. Well, I guess if Obama marches foreign troops in or something. Let's go to the colonel right now and then hear what Joe has to say. Oh, they've brought the former guy up. The portly preacher is back. Thomas Meade has returned. Here he is.
While we're here, the gentleman in the brown shirt, and then gentleman...
You know what's happening? We've blown your operation as usual. Yeah, I mean, you know what you've done. All you've done is stirred up the beehive. Now, we're not acclimated. You just thought we'd get acclimated and that'd be the end of it. No. We're going to use this as our own drill to get people to understand what's happening. Let's go back to the feed.
I think I know what your question is, and I will get that. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
But they're controlling it by being questions. We need statements.
Been Zuniga from Bastrop. I just wanted to clarify, will there be any role play done in the community in public? Because the reason I'm concerned is because you mentioned that there was a need to blend in with people from Bastrop.
It's going to take place on private property.
How does that work?
It works within the house.
Everybody there knows. I mean, you New World Order just thinks you're going to hit us while we're asleep. It's not going to happen. You're going to have a stand-up fight.
One follow-up question, will the people role-playing be dressed up as Bastropians?
I mean, look at the TSA on the streets. I told you 10 years before they rolled out that was going to happen. How'd I know? I watched it on C-SPAN. Again, we're a big country, folks. They can't just roll this out in secret, but they want to. I want to go back to Joe Jennings because the audio, at least in my ear, is a little bit hammered. I see a lot of folks with InfoWars Come and Take It shirts. Come and Take It started close to Bastrop and Gonzales. Let's hear what this lady has to say.
The logo for Jade Helm, you addressed that briefly. I didn't catch all of the answer. In particular, I'm curious about the symbology of the small wooden shoe.
The claw. Okay.
We need statements about militarization of police, the acclamation, the Army admitting they're trying to take on the Tea Party, so he'll then deny it, and we'll have him buy the huevos.
France.
Get him to lie.
Netherlands.
Man, I should have gone. Oh.
Shoes and throw them into the machine.
Can you imagine me broadcasting angrily there with a headset? I should have done that, actually. The crew's doing a great job.
French word.
I mean, this guy is so full of it. I mean, he's like a manure yard. You could hire this guy to fertilize like 10 million crops himself.
It goes back to just the unconventional warfare, tracing back the lineage of U.S. Special Forces.
They're training special forces to take on gun owners. It's all over the news. Okay, and they'll have some real missions that are legitimate mixed in to confuse the idiot public, kind of like cyanide pills, you know, taste like sugar. They're 80% sugar. Let's go quick. Joe Jennings, you've been listening to the crowd. What were you saying their basic attitude is?
Basically, they're trying to figure out why they're doing this. Why are you doing this in my community? Why do you need our private property? Why are you coming after us? And it's just stonewalling. They're just, we're here for your protection.
Get in the white van, kid. We got candy.
We're not here to hear your statements, just questions.
We're here to help. We've come to your planet to help. Now just let us put this chip in your brain. Everything's fine.
We're not the droids you're looking for.
That's right. Move along, move along. Stay with us. We got a big guest coming up.
Not a single 11th grade student showed up to take the SBAC Common Core Standardized Test at Nathan Hale High School last week. But students aren't the only ones walking out on Common Core. Earlier this year, teachers at the same school passed a resolution against the Common Core Standardized Tests and were threatened by Superintendent Larry Nyland with the loss of their teaching license if they didn't administer the test, according to the Seattle Education blog. Liberty High School in West Virginia is proactively warning students' parents that their child will be suspended if they opt out of upcoming Common Core testing. Superintendent Mark Manchin even called into a radio show to levy even more socialist brainwashing rhetoric. Parents don't have the right to pick and choose what provisions of public education in which they feel they want to comply with, he said. Technical issues are plaguing the Common Core testing industry even worse than student walkouts. The Washington Post reports that over 15 states are suspending, scrapping, or reviewing Common Core standards for a variety of reasons. Maybe the computers are having trouble calculating 2 + 2 = 5. For more stories like these, go to Infowars.com and become a member of PrisonPlanet.tv.
Introducing Secret 12, the new InfoWars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
Hi, I'm Alex Jones. When I got on air 20 years ago, I weighed 180 pounds. I lift weights 5 days a week. I could swim 2-3 miles. Then I discovered the New World Order, the globalists, their agenda. I started an Access television show. I was so dedicated to my work and hanging around with radio guys that I began drinking. I began smoking cigars and then even cigarettes. I transformed from looking like a white Bruce Lee to looking like a Jabba the Hutt. So I began a journey 5 years ago to shed the almost 100 pounds. I started taking Super Male Vitality and saw dramatic results in just a few weeks. When I added to the mix the key products developed by Dr. Group for InfoWarsLife.com, the results were incredible. Take the InfoWarsLife.com challenge today at InfoWarsLife.com or give our crew a call. They can answer all your questions or tell you about any of the specials at 888-253-3139.
Aligns himself with the truth, and it's time for you to choose a side. You're listening to Alex Jones.
It seems like last summer was the summer of rage with riots and police killings and hysteria. They're saying this summer's really going to be big, with the mayor admitting that they let the looters attack people and have an area to wreck. Simply amazing. We're going to cover that at the bottom of the hour. Joe Biggs will join us with his breakdown of the last 5 hours. Well, he's been there since 9 a.m. It's 1 o'clock and 8 minutes. So, yeah, the last 5 hours plus of what he's been hearing from this Army Lieutenant Colonel. And just the stuff I've heard is outright bull and disinformation. And they're not letting people speak more than about 10 seconds. That's what's making them mad. There are well over 1,000 people there, it looks like. So this is big news. And again, they try to spin it. Don't be against the military. Oh, we're not against the military. We don't want the military being used for domestic operations and being turned into an arm of the Democratic Party. Their new civilian police force that Obama talked about. It's that simple. And constitutional scholars are across the board saying the same thing we're saying. Now, joining us is Joel Gilbert with breaking news at Infowars.com and WorldNetDaily.com. Obama's brother says he's dishonest and abandoned the family. He is the documentary filmmaker of Dreams of My Real Father, and he's gotten an exclusive, in-depth interview with the brother, the half-brother of Obama, breaking his silence. And we have several clips here that we're going to be able to play of his interview with his half-brother in a moment. But this is important information, and documentary filmmaker Joel Gilbert joins us. He was going to be on a week and a half ago, but they pushed the story back to do even more research and to dig even deeper. So they've got even more intel now. JoelGilbert.net. You can find his films at InfoWarsStore.com. Dreams of My Real Father, and there's no place like hell on earth. I mean, utopia. But right now we go to our guest with this breaking information, Joel Gilbert.
Hi, Alex, great to be here. As I told you about a week and a half ago, I had a big interview I was completing. This was based on my reaching out to Malik Obama, the alleged half-brother of Barry, Barack Hussein Obama. And I sent Malik a copy of my DVD of Dreams from My Real Father. And he watched the film immediately. And he told me at that time that this might be an explanation for why Barack was so close to the Kenyan family, and he made such a big deal about them politically for his political career, wrote a book about the Kenyan Obama. And as soon as he was elected president, Malik reports that Barack shunned the Kenyan family, didn't want anything to do with them, and that they've been so confused. And when you play these clips, we're going to hear from Malik really letting loose and explaining what he thinks really is going on based on his relationship. Don't forget, Malik Obama was Obama's best man at his wedding and vice versa. Obama invited him to Chicago to his community organizing events. Malik is the one that brought Barack to Kenya, took him to the father's grave. Even if you watch the video, the full video on YouTube or obamasrealfather.com, Malik explains that Barack sent him his manuscript of Dreams from My Father, which had a different title at the time, and asked him to edit it. So Malik was very close to Barack, so he's very hurt and confused as to why, as soon as he made this big deal about the Kenyan relatives for his political definition of who he was, he dropped them right when he got elected.
Well, regardless, this shows he's a total sociopath, or maybe worse, that people he's known for decades. His dad certainly dated his mother, looked like nothing like her. The government threw him out saying he wasn't the dad. And people forget all this. Frank Marshall Davis is where Obama would live during the summers, looks just like him. I mean, that, you cover that in your film. It's undoubtedly his father.
Correct.
But to then just throw his adoptive family away just shows an incredible cold-bloodedness. But I'm taking away from what he's saying that Barack's half-brother says he may not be his brother after all. This is just bombshell. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Absolutely. You'll see when we play the clips, Malik says that Barack looks like Frank Marshall Davis and nothing like his father.
Incredible.
Malik also said he wants to do a DNA test now, maybe have a DNA showdown, I call it, and see what the truth is, because he is so hurt. You feel sorry for these Kenyan Obamas that they were used and humiliated when he dropped their connection. Malik tells in the video the story of when Aunt Zaitouni died. He went to the White House and he asked Barack to contribute. They needed $20,000 to take her body from Boston back to Kenya for a funeral. And Malik tells the story that Barack told him that she deserved what she got, and that was too much money. He also told me privately that Barack said, "I'm not Bill Gates." So the result was Aunt Zaitouni was stuck in Boston for a full month where they had to raise money from the public. And Malik just says he was very hurt because Aunt Zaitouni came to the senatorial inauguration. She came to the presidential inauguration. She accepted him when he came to Boston when he was in school.
But she was a prop to be used and then discarded. Just unprecedented. We're going to play these clips. The full interview just went up on your website. But this is... I am rarely this stunned because it's clearly his dad. He comes out in the book and says he owes everything to him, and his grandfather was best buddies with him, and then his mother clearly posing in photos with him. I mean, why would he be spending the summer with him as a small child? It's his son. When Obama talks about him, he looks like he almost cries in these speeches. And then now